Hi, I'm Millie. If you're new here on this channel, I'm autistic and ADHD. And so I talk about mostly neurodiversity things. And yeah, I just wanted to do a show and tell thing. Being an autistic person, show and tell is one of my favorite things. And for the first one, I wanted to talk about this iPad case that I'm looking at right now. This is what I use for my notes because of my short-term memory issues. I have to constantly be reminding myself of what I talk about. But I just love this object so much. It brings me so much joy, I feel like. So I wanted to show that off. A big inspiration for me is I love watching Adam Savage's videos. He does a lot of, I don't know if he calls it show and tell, but I just love his storytelling and his talking about his objects like he's a maker. So he's building lots of things. So he has this amazing shop. So he does these wonderful one-take videos where he's talking about one of his favorite tools, or he has a fantastic collection of movie props and props he makes. So talking about one of his favorite things in storytelling. And watching his videos has helped me a lot with perfectionism and just realizing that I'm more creative than I think I am. And I think other people are as well. And I love to also give that message to other people, that kind of anybody can be a maker and everybody's creative in different ways. And we have just maybe too narrow of a definition of what's creative. But anyways, yeah, I love his stories about objects he likes. And also, industrial design has always been one of my special interests. So another part of autism is these intense interests. And industrial design, if you don't know, is the design of things, of objects. It's as opposed to like graphic design. So graphic design is designing, most people know graphic design, designing two-dimensional things. So a website or a magazine cover or, just anything flat, an advertisement or something like that. And then industrial design is, as I was saying, physical objects and the materials, ergonomics, environmental impact, the whole like product life cycle and all those things. And yeah, I really appreciate it because I just get so much visual stimulation and just mental stimulation. I love thinking about how things are made, and I just love that a well-designed object can make my quality of life so much better. It's like I find it just so worth it to kind of wait and research and have the right thing. Like over time, it's less wasteful. So I throw less away and I have things that last longer. But also, if they're just more fun to use, then I also keep them longer. And yeah, and it just makes my everyday that much more fun if it's something I can interact with every day, has a fun aspect to use, like just fun, whimsical, but also fun to use. And I think this is the perfect example of that. Also, because of autism and sensory processing disorder, certain kind of materials, specifically kind of dry, rough, scratchy things especially, or if things are too sticky or get built up on them, I find it really, really uncomfortable to touch, and so I avoid touching those kind of things. So I always have to be careful with materials. So I really appreciate when I can touch something and it's nice to touch. I'm drawn to bright colors for the visual stimulation. And also just when things are well made, it's hard to explain, but when things are kind of too wobbly or coming loose, then I just can't stop thinking about it. And it just really, really bothers me and hampers my enjoyment of that thing. Yeah. So yes, this iPad case. This is for an iPad mini specifically. And this is mine's the 5th generation, I believe. So this is just from a few years ago. And I use this all the time for everything, like the iPad. And so I had some specific use cases. This is, like I was looking for like a case designed for kids because I'm not a kid, I'm an adult, but I do have like fine motor control issues and some kind of clumsiness. I had vision issues. Some of that I've worked on and has gotten better, but yeah, I tend to drop things and smash stuff into other stuff accidentally. Like, yeah, so it's a proprioception issue as well, I guess. So I don't always know where my hand is in space, or especially if I'm doing something with one hand and I'm not concentrating on the other hand that's holding something, so I can smack it into something, and tendency to drop things. So it's nice to have a good grip on whatever I'm holding. So all those things go into the design of these cases for kids, right? That's kind of exactly what they're going for. So I was looking at that, but without it looking too childish. I mean, sometimes that's fine for me too, but I like that this is fun, but also just is pretty slick looking. It still has the fun colors, so really it's like an all ages thing, but works great for kids as well. I was looking at other iPad cases designed, like aimed more at children, and yeah, I just find a lot of them were like cheaply made, and yeah, it's not meant to last long, and just not very visually pleasing to look at. Like they're fine, they're probably functional, but I'll show you the features with this one, like how this ring and handle works. I just didn't see anything like this. Like the engineering that went into this is unreal. A lot of the other ones had a handle, but it was kind of just a single position handle, not so multifunction. And like with our choice in the world, we always have thousands of choices, seemingly, like if you go on big online stores, but really it's like a bunch of variations of essentially the same design. And then this was the one where I was like, oh, this seemed like a very singular, special design that was well thought out. So I was really drawn to it. So the thing that really drew me to it was, I mean, the looks, it's all like has really good fit and finish, fits tight, fits the main thing, it fits the case perfectly, protects from drops. I've dropped this, so, even though it helps me to protect it from dropping, I've still knocked it off of things, and it's held up very well. My iPad is totally fine still, which is exactly what I wanted it to do. But also, this ring, I can change it to any position, and then it locks at quarter turns. And then this locks in multiple positions as well. So the beautiful thing is, if you have it on the long edge, it functions as a handle. So I can just carry it around like this. And so if I'm just trying to move it somewhere, go around the house, so I can carry it around. I hang it up on the wall over the dishes. This is a little ADHD tip, or just sensory as well. If you hate hand washing dishes like I do, the way I distract myself and kind of treat myself is I hang this on a hook on the wall and like watch a YouTube video while I'm washing dishes or something. And yeah, so that becomes the carrying candle. And then in other positions, it becomes a stand. So very stable stand for different positions. This is like a little more vertical, a little more flat. And then because you can rotate it, it become the same thing in the other direction, which is so cool. So you just have so many options. So I just saw this and I was like, wow, industrial designer. Somebody put so much thought into this. It has this beautiful texture in the back of these grippy dots, and it just feels nice and stimmy on my fingers to touch. So I really like the texture on that when I'm holding the back of it. Yeah, no, that's pretty much it, I guess. I could have said at the beginning, if I'm getting your hopes up, this is not sponsored. This is made by I'll talk about the company, even though you can't really buy this anymore, unfortunately. I just wanted to show it because I love it. The company is called Tech21. You can still buy their phone cases, and they do have some tablet cases, but I don't think they sell this specific one anymore. At least the last couple times I checked, just in case I needed a replacement, I wanted to check online. And the only place I've seen them is on big retailers that are still reselling old stock from years ago. So if you have an old iPad mini and you want this, you might still be able to get it as old stock. But yeah, I wish they made this design and updated it for a new iPad mini, because when I have to replace my iPad mini, I would really love to have this case again. And oh yeah, and one last feature, I don't use this a lot, but it has a little loop that rotates with the wheel. So there's a little spot to put your Apple Pencil or stylus in there. It's like a little stretchy loop. And yeah, so I just love this thing every time I use it, which is dozens of times a day. It makes me happy. I use it as a stand to watch things. I hang it up to watch things. The ring also just helps me hold it with one hand. And I use this to carry around. And yeah, I just love it so much. And so thanks for watching this show and tell with me. And I want to do more show and tells, so I'll be doing more of these things. So some of my favorite design objects, and yeah, just things in my life that bring me joy. And please check out the rest of my channel. I have lots of videos on autism and other neurodiversity related topics, mental health, that kind of thing. And yeah, please subscribe if you want to watch more of these videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.